Welcome back to DecoyNoise, and today we're doing more stories from r/Am I the A-hole and taking them to Decoy Court. As always, we'll read the top comments and the controversial comments and your comments down below, but let's go ahead and get to today's story, which is: Am I the antagonist for yelling at my girlfriend because she's too environmentally friendly? Reddit has already determined that they're not the antagonist, but the Decoy Court will decide that. OP writes, I know the title sounds bad, but please hear me out. I'm a 28-year-old male, girlfriend, a 29-year-old female, is very environmentally conscious, which I also agree is a great thing to be. However, she often takes it too far in minuscule things, and I have finally reached my breaking point. I can probably name many more instances, but here are a few. A few months ago, while driving to dinner, there was an accident on the motorway, and we were stuck in traffic on a hot day. It was over 33 degrees on that day. That's 91 degrees for you Americans in freedom units, Fahrenheit. And we were stuck in traffic, baking in the car for almost 2 hours. During this, she refused to turn on the car to have on the AC, not because of money, but because it was bad for the environment. I mean, I get it, by running your car while standing still is a waste, but when it's that hot? I ended up showing up to dinner drenched in sweat, extremely uncomfortable, and had a terrible time, but I kept my mouth shut and we continued on. I have worked remotely from home since the start of the lockdown while she goes to work every day. Since we're getting into the winter months here, we're almost never seeing the sun during the day. It's almost always overcast. One day she came home early and saw that I had the light on during the day. If you ever work from home and it's dark all the time, you know how much it can influence your mood and productivity, plus who wants to be sitting in the dark all night? Wrong. When she got extremely upset that I was wasting energy, mind you, we have the super efficient Philips LED lights. I told her that it's only a few cents a day in energy, but of course she refused to acknowledge that she may be wrong. Yesterday was my final breaking point. I had taken advantage of Black Friday and bought 4 items that I had been wanting from 4 different stores, almost 200 euros. When I told her about my exciting purchases, she got extremely upset that I would purchase things from 4 different stores as that was 4 deliveries, which is bad for the environment. And I said that I should have bought it all from one place, which would have been way more expensive. I had enough. I flipped out on her and told her that if she cares so much about the environment, she should go protest the big companies that are actually contributing to global warming and stop nagging me about it. She got upset and left, so Reddit, I know the environment is important, but am I the antagonist? So taking the case and rushing over to Decoy Court, as you can tell, I am a person that lives in somewhat excess. I like to be environmentalist, but I like driving my car, I like having toys, I like all the electricity I'm using when I'm making this podcast, so I'm not someone that could be on the side of a heavily environmentalist person, but the one thing I would point out on this is they don't seem to like each other too much. If it's going to be a situation where, they're getting in arguments about having a light bulb on or buying stuff for Black Friday, the relationship kind of seems like it's on the outs anyway. But the one thing is, if it would be just situations where they're together in the car and it's 91 degrees outside and they're all burning up, yeah, okay, that makes sense. They're both taking the chop on this. But when she's going to work, who knows if she's riding a bike or driving her car to work, and she's enjoying sun or lights being flipped on all day, but says, no, I'm going to go ahead and get that. But you, OP, because you work from home, you got to sit there in the dark. How dare you get the same luxuries that I get when I go to work? That would be a double standard. And also the thing where they're ordering food or ordering things from different stores on Black Friday or whatever, you could hold them to the same standard. And also the same situation of do you really want to get into a battle with your significant other where it's like, okay, well, I bought 4 things. You bought 3 things? Well, your 3 things were shipped from farther places. So the postage and the airplane and the carbon offset, it's like, you're just going to get in this whirlwind of things. Great that she has good intentions, but it's a situation where it's like, okay, are you guys going to start fighting and comparing who's better of environmentalists? Or are you just going to say, you know what, maybe this relationship isn't working. You need a very more environmentally conscious person, and they need more of a relaxed person about the state of the economy right now and how Amazon is wasting so much cardboard boxes is ridiculous. So I mean, not to get into that conversation, but I don't think that they're a good match right now. I'm saying that OP, you're not the antagonist, but also I'm not going to say that the girlfriend's the antagonist. They just seem incompatible. I guess the decoy defense on the inverse of this would be a situation where OP was buying a cell phone case, a cell phone pop thing that helps you stand it up, and also earphones and just it was just a situation where it all could have been bought from one place, but he just likes the idea that he's saving 20 cents here, 30 cents there, and clipping coupons and making it much worse by buying it from different places, and is just doing it just to piss off the girlfriend. And as far as the light bulb thing, I understand the seasonal effectiveness disorder, the sad thing where low light during the winter months is enough to make someone kind of feel depressed. It would be a situation like, yes, you should have the lights on all the time, but maybe not a light on in a room that they're not in. That would make her upset, but that's not what it's looking like with this right here. This seems more of the decoy defense, just trying to stretch to try to defend the girlfriend as much as possible, but we'll still take a brief recess in Decoy Court. Let me know your thoughts down below as to story number 1. Should OP be standing up for themselves and digging in their heels over environmentalism, or is this just a situation where it's probably doomed, they're going to break up anyway, might as well make it this. But let's go ahead and shoot over to those controversial comments and see what they're saying, because they got a sunshine cloud. I've never seen that before, but this person writes, not the antagonist, but you know who sucks? People will put all the blame for climate change / environmental crisis on individuals. Of course, we should all be doing our part, as it sounds like you are, but it sounds like your girlfriend is the sort of person who shames people for occasionally using a disposable bag or taking the elevator when you can climb 12 flights of stairs. But guess what? It barely matters. The vast majority of pollution comes from large corporations with poor systemic practices. If your girlfriend wants to channel her rage at someone, maybe she can work on climate lobbying or activism, or organize better practices in your municipality or region. Putting the blame on individuals is not only rude, it doesn't actually do anything other than virtue signaling. I don't like to get too political and too heavy-handed with it, but it does sound like a situation where does she want to help the environment, or does she want to feel superior to OP and kind of boss him around in his day-to-day life? Hard to delineate that to see the delineation there. But let's go ahead and look at the next top comment, which is not the antagonist. Life is about balance, and constantly criticizing your partner for wastefulness isn't going to accomplish anything positive. Very true. Next top comment is, your girlfriend is cherry-picking environmental concerns, and this doesn't sound like environmentalism as much as it sounds like being compulsive and controlling. Unless you two are completely living off the grid, growing your own food, walking and not driving, etc., she leaves a carbon footprint all the time, and you are the doormat she is wiping her feet on every day. I think you need to ask yourself, why have you put up with this for so long? You need to start speaking up regularly and setting some limits on her. It's worth the argument to preserve your self-worth and your relationship, which my thoughts are, he wants to preserve his self-worth. Yeah, I don't know if you can preserve the relationship, though. Destroying the relationship is going to be preserving his self-worth in the sense of, I'm moving on. I think that you're trying to use me as a quote-unquote doormat to wipe your feet as you're leaving the largest carbon footprint that you could possibly do. So let's go ahead and shoot over to that controversial comment, which is not the antagonist. Also, run. She is crazy. And someone replied to that saying, also, before everyone jumps on the younger people only giving this advice, my sister, a 66-year-old female, and myself, a 59-year-old female, both think you should run. Odds are she will not change and even get worse with time. Whatever you do, do not have kids with her. So a bit more extreme, saying like, run, don't have kids with her, but it probably good sound advice. Next top controversial reply is, get out, not the antagonist. The next one is, not the antagonist. I'm sorry, dump her. This is not going to get any better for you. So a lot of people giving the same advice where this relationship seems cooked. There's no way you guys are going to come to terms with it. And also a situation of, unless she's like, doing the composting, growing your own food and everything, complaining that a light bulb was on for like an extra day for a couple extra cents seems like a controlling situation where OP, there's no remedy for what she wants out of you, so you're better off moving on. Sad to say, I don't usually like doing that, but that's what this is right here. So if you like the fact that this is a Reddit read / podcast of personality, Decoy Court, Decoy Defense, and all that wrapped together, make sure you subscribe down below and turn on those notifications to check every new episode at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's where we're at right now, but Pacific Standard Time, two episodes a day, shorter episodes. You can pick and choose what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch, but if you still want to check out that long-form playlist to watch all the DecoyNoise, make sure you put it on autoplay and check out one of those episodes coming up next.